So folks, and with that, a warm welcome. It's great to have you here today on this beautiful Thursday morning. We have the big event coming up, rice burning. And I hope that the worst jump doesn't happen right away, because I want to test the new product with you, specifically the new tire coat from ADBL. I don't have any information yet on whether the tire coat completely replaces the ad block, but I believe it does. And here with the cherry vanilla, I'm really curious to see how it holds up. You can currently see a trend in tire care where many products are going in the direction of some kind of coating, or at least improving the products so that their durability significantly increases. So far, it has always been the case with plastics and tires that it simply holds in a straightforward way and refreshes the whole thing. Here, various coating materials are being used to make the whole thing a bit more durable. That's a good thing. What I find a bit sad, and it brings a slight tear to my eye, is that in 2021, this beautiful and delicious cookie scent is no longer present. Instead, we now have a cherry vanilla. But I can tell you one thing, that the scent from this product really smells extremely good. So, it smells really amazing. I wish ADBL, and I will also write to the washbook team here, could reach out to the ADBL team to see if they can release this as a shampoo. That means, if you happen to come across a shampoo like that in the next few weeks or months, you can remember this video, because I have clearly wished that this cherry vanilla is an ideal scent for a shampoo, so I would buy it immediately. Let's test the tire coat out, all the information about it. We'll apply it here on the tire, making sure to clean it briefly beforehand to ensure we get the full performance. And then we'll put this through a long-term test. I got the 0.5 liter version, which lasts forever, so you don't need to worry at all. Let's get started. To ensure we get the full performance here, we will first clean everything. For this, we use either a brush or a scrub pad, which I have already set aside a bit here. You can see it over the tire flag. The tires are still relatively fresh. I don't think there will be too much yellow residue here. Okay, I take that back immediately. There is definitely still a lot coming off here. I don't know if I've ever cleaned the tire here before, but you can see that. Even though I'm spraying a bit more now, you really don't need that much product, and it mists very nicely. Just give a little spray on the scrub pad and you'll see how much the ADBL tire cleaner removes here, especially for those who really clean their tires properly. And I'm not starting a discussion about whether this makes sense or not. I was a bit hesitant about it for a long time, but since I've been using these tire cleaners, I have to say it's definitely a plus for me in terms of durability, and also makes the look of the tire really nice again. That's why I want perfect preparation here. While this is still working for a bit, I'll take a wheel cleaner and just clean the rims a little more, but it's just a matter of spraying it on and rinsing it off. That should actually be enough here. So that's already completely sufficient. And you can see quite a bit is coming off here. If you look over here, you'll see that the foam remains. It stays white, except for what is still running out from the profile area at the top. But just as an indication that it is now really nice and clean, nothing is staining anymore. We can also go over it again with the backside. Even here, look, everything stays bright. It doesn't turn yellow again. So, the cleaning is perfect. We don't even need to let it sit for that long. It is important that this doesn't dry here, otherwise you'll end up with yellow stained tires. Of course, when the dirt loosens and then dries on the tire, it looks really bad. That's why we give the Tuga a maximum of 1 minute and rinse it off properly now. Since I don't want to test the new tire coat on a wet tire, we will completely dry it here first, just a little dab, so that we can achieve the maximum visual difference. We will create a small section here to ensure we have a nice contrast. Be careful that it doesn't unnecessarily run into these grooves. That's why I twist the tape. I am also currently testing. This is the new Chemical Works tape that they have now added to their range. I am curious to see if it holds up well on tires. We will also test it during polishing, of course. Test from my side as well. Now we have completed the preparation, and here is the Cherry Vanilla Tire Coat Durable Tire Dressing. On the back, we also find some additional information. Here, of course, make sure to dry and clean the tires. Spread a little on the applicator let it sit for 30 minutes, and then wipe it off with a cloth. I really have to say here, I would recommend it to you, but I am just at the self-service box today, and it fit quite well. However, I will be making a few other videos, so that shouldn't be a problem. You really need to let this work in properly. So, for me, this is not what I would call, in quotation marks, normal tire care, but rather, we have a significantly longer drying time here. I would recommend doing this at home, or when you don't have to rush off somewhere with the car, like to work or something. So for this product, you just need to take a little more time. For this, we apply a little bit to the applicator. You can use a microfiber applicator. There are various options, or this one. And then, let's apply a little bit of it. You can also see that it is not very gel-like, nor is it as extremely liquid as water. But, let's see. This is also my first application. It spreads nicely. This has definitely stood out to me positively right away. If you want to reach the small grooves down here, simply turn the applicator around and guide it along here so that you catch exactly those corners. Normally you don't have tape right now, and maybe a little bit will spill underneath, but this is about the direct comparison. What I can tell you right now is that when you are working on the tires, the vanilla, cherry or cherry vanilla scent is fully present in your surroundings. This means you also get to experience this pleasant fragrance while applying it. And the scent is of course just a nice gimmick, but why not take it along in 21 when you get it included right away. So here we can already see a significant difference with the tire dressing. After about 2 to 3 minutes, it could actually be wiped off again. We really need it for the maximum durability. You might want to polish it a bit earlier, but you really need to take 30 minutes here. So definitely plan for that. That's why it says tire coat and not just tire dressing, because this is something that should normally last significantly longer. Let's take a look. So, I quickly polished everything at the self-service box after about 28 minutes. Or rather, I just went over it briefly with the cloth, but I simply couldn't film it anymore because the whole rice-burning convoy was coming up behind me. It was really, really action-packed. I was really lucky that I managed to get everything done in time beforehand, and the Johanniter also arrived at the same time with their transporters. Well, I couldn't film that for you anymore. But how to go over it with a cloth? I don't think that should be a big problem for you. Here we have the look, and I really have to say, it looks really, really good. Of course, the camera is playing a bit with the exposure now. We can also film from above here. I think it looks really nice. I find it very evenly beautiful. I don't think it looks greasy or shiny at all. It creates a really nice tire surface in terms of shine, but without looking overly wet or anything like that. So, very, very nice. And here you can also wonderfully see the difference. So, very, very strong. Also here, depending on how you film it, if you look down from above, just like you normally do when you stand next to the car. So, really a very, very nice look. And also here on the side, you can clearly see the difference. I think the color refreshment here is very, very good. What I can't tell you yet is about the durability. I definitely need to upload an update on that. But yes, that's my first experience. I find it very, very nice in terms of appearance. Pay a little attention when you apply a lot of product into these letters and also dab nicely into these grooves. But at the latest, when you go over it with the cloth, I left my spot out here. I think you can kind of see it. Just very slight streaks. But you still have the option to touch it up a bit with the cloth and your finger, which of course is best done with the cloth. So if I have large product residues here, it's like with all tire care products. When a lot of product accumulates in these grooves, it just takes significantly longer, but it worked very, very well, and I find it beautifully even. What we can definitely take a look at now, besides the look, which I really like, is the release behavior, how it performs in terms of hydrophobia. And in 2001, we can just spray it on, and you can see here, it definitely has good hydrophobic properties. If we now look at the other side of the unsealed tire, it is still nicely cleaned. Here, where the tape is, we have slight marks, but up here it looks good. Logically, hydrophobicity on tires, folks, is a nice additional point. But it definitely shows how well the product can work here. And I think that looks good as well, this rough rubber surface. So the look and hydrophobic properties are really absolutely beautiful. And now it's time for the long-term test. So here you have the picture again after 24 hours of curing time, and I definitely wanted to show you this as well. The listening behavior definitely increases at this point. Here on the ribbed surfaces, it is of course extremely difficult to develop a strong hydrophobic effect. But where the surfaces are super smooth, we can clearly see a difference here again. Since it is not sealed, and over here on the side, The curing behavior is very, very nice. I really like it a lot. And you can also see that very clearly over here. So you also have the picture after a short ventilation or curing time, and now after 24 hours, it looks really, really good. Overall, the water repellent behavior is also very good. And when it comes to sealing properties, it is always good to test that again after the specified curing time. It may not be written on the bottle, but I always provide you with both pictures right after the application when nothing is stated. And even now, after 24 hours, it's absolutely top-notch. So here is my first conclusion. It applies absolutely effortlessly, with no issues regarding streaking at all, and it doesn't get massively smeared or clog the applicator. It can also be easily washed out of the applicator again because it is not an extreme gel formula, but can be nicely dissolved under water. I find that very, very positive. The scent is definitely noticeable during application, and it should be that way. I wish the same for some shampoos, where I think, okay, when you smell the bottle, you get the pleasant fragrance, but as soon as you're in the wash bucket, you can't smell anything anymore. Here with Tire Care, when you apply it, you are right there on the tire, and you can really enjoy it, and it smells very, very pleasant, even if it's no longer a cookie scent. But maybe ADBL can do something about that in the future. So I would wish for a cookie shampoo from ADBL, or that as a special edition. Let's see, maybe they can come up with something. Otherwise, in terms of appearance, you just saw it. I really think it looks very, very nice. It's not too greasy shiny, definitely not too pale, and also not too dull. I think it's just right, just as it should be. And protection is definitely included as well. Now let's take a look at how long this lasts on the vehicle. The E is very much on the go with us, a bit like our workhorse, also shopping, picking up the child and so on. So it is clearly on the road much more than the M, for example. But still, I will occasionally apply this on the vehicles as well, and we can gladly compare it against other tire care products, such as Tire Coat from ADBL. Feel free to share your opinions with me. I have already tried that too. What do you think of the product once you've tested it? What do you think of the scent? So far, the overall package seems to fit. I can't give you any feedback on the durability yet because it's still completely brand new. I will definitely provide all further information in the update. Until then, you're Sebastian. See you in the next video, 2001.